Johnny Carson turned unplanned live television mistakes into comedy gold on The Tonight Show. And these are 10 unforgettable moments when guests, hosts, and even animals created spontaneous chaos that nobody saw coming. Broken props, airborne tomahawks, and bathroom disasters turned into television legend on The Tonight Show, with Johnny Carson because the show's host commanded late-night television for 30 years with wit sharper than any script could provide. But the show's most memorable moments weren't planned at all. They were glorious accidents, the kind of spontaneous chaos no writer's room could dream up. What follows are the funniest slip-ups, blunders, and surprise moments that had Johnny Carson himself losing control with laughter. Number 1. Tim Conway's bathroom tie disaster.
Would you welcome, please, Tim Conway? Tim temporarily detained.
Tim Conway, the comedy genius from The Carol Burnett Show, had a gift for making everyday disasters hilarious. And on September 26, 1985, Conway brought that talent to The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson in the most unexpected way. Tim Conway was in Johnny Carson's dressing room bathroom before Conway's appearance when disaster struck and Conway's tie got yanked and somehow became stuck in a paper towel dispenser. Conway had to wrestle with this bathroom fixture while trying to free himself, and most people would have fixed the problem and never mentioned it.
Did you get down here? I help you in a minute. This is not going to work. Oh, okay.
Tim Conway was not most people. Conway walked onto the Tonight Show set and recounted the entire absurd struggle to Johnny Carson in Conway's trademark deadpan style, which had Carson laughing so hard the host reportedly lost control.
You're a silly person.
Yeah, sorry about being late. I really am. I hope I didn't hold you up. Fortunately, I didn't get in the toilet. It's been, Oh, I'm sorry to see that. Great. This was $3 ties. Fine. Certainly would. Yeah.
There was nothing inherently funny about the words Tim Conway was saying, and it was all in the delivery, that perfect deadpan tone describing this ridiculous situation as if it were the most serious thing in the world. A real accident became comedy gold on The Tonight Show because Conway knew exactly how to tell the story. Number 2. The mysterious baboon.
Easy,
A man and his monkey. You'll see this chair on fire. Let's go. Knock on your chair.
Wildlife expert Jim Fowler from Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom brought some animal guests to The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson on June 18, 1981. And one of them was a young baboon that had apparently had enough of show business. The primate swung unexpectedly and struck Johnny Carson right in the face, which sent Carson stumbling backward before the host immediately went into character. Johnny Carson adopted a boxer's dazed persona and played up the comedy of getting punched by a monkey, reportedly saying, "Did you hear the bell?" while acting like a fighter who'd been knocked silly in the ring.
Didn't you hear the bell?
Johnny, I did.
He'd make a nice house pet, Jim.
I knew one of these times, Johnny.
The Tonight Show audience went wild watching America's most famous talk show host pretend to be knocked out by a baboon. And fan videos confirm this moment happened even though there's no official transcript of exactly what Johnny Carson said. Sometimes the best comedy comes from things you absolutely cannot plan on The Tonight Show, like getting smacked by an angry primate on live television. Number 3. Don Rickles breaks Carson's cigarette box.
Uh-oh. What the hell happened to this? Well,
As long as you've seen what happened.
You know how long I've had the cigarette box on his desk?
You brought that up from New York City?
I brought this from New York. What on earth?
It happened last night.
Who?
Don Rickles.
I did not see the
Don
show
Rickles
last
did it last night.
Don Rickles was guest hosting The Tonight Show on December 13th, 1976. And while horsing around on set, Rickles got a little too playful and accidentally knocked the wood out of Johnny Carson's cherished smoking box prop. This wasn't just any prop on The Tonight Show, but Johnny Carson's personal item, something Carson valued, and Don Rickles had just destroyed it.
Hey, you're not gonna have to land. There's no good. This is now your land. You take. Oh, Carson's cigarette box. Oh my goodness! I got Carson's cigarette box.
The next night, when Johnny Carson returned to host The Tonight Show, Carson decided to turn the accident into comedy by storming onto the adjacent studio where Rickles was appearing and confronting Rickles in a mock, angry bit that had both comedians joking about the broken box.
I just started the show. I picked my box up off my desk that I've had for 9 years. My box is broken. They told me you broke it on the show last night. Well, I really... You big dummy!
What started as a genuine accident became a running gag between two comedy legends on The Tonight Show, with Johnny Carson playing the wronged party and Don Rickles playing the hapless destroyer. The whole thing turned into an unscripted masterpiece of comedic timing on live television, and it showed how the best comedians can take a real mistake and transform it into entertainment better than anything they could have written. Number 4. Ed Ames and the record-breaking tomahawk throw.
Welcome to Frontier Bridge.
What might be the single longest laugh in television history happened on April 29th, 1965, when actor and singer Ed Ames appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Ed Ames was best known for playing Mingo, a Native American character on the TV show Daniel Boone. And here's the funny part. Ed Ames was actually a Ukrainian Jewish actor from Malden, Massachusetts, one of the Ames brothers singing group. During Ames's appearance on The Tonight Show, Ed Ames decided to teach Johnny Carson how to throw a tomahawk, and the two set up a cowboy outline drawn on plywood as a target. Ed Ames took his throw and hurled the axe at the target, and the tomahawk hit the outline squarely between the legs. The Tonight Show audience gasped and then started laughing. Johnny Carson looked at the tomahawk, looked at where the axe landed, and without missing a beat, Carson said, "I didn't even know you were Jewish." The Tonight Show place exploded with laughter that went on for over 4 minutes straight, one of the longest sustained laughs in television history. And Johnny Carson himself collapsed into uncontrollable laughter while the cameras kept rolling and everyone, including the crew, lost it completely.
I didn't even know you were Jewish.
Ed Ames later confirmed in interviews that this 1965 bit on The Tonight Show set a TV record for unbroken laughter and called it the longest laugh in television history. As of 2022, Ed Ames still owned a ranch in California and could look back on the moment that made Ames a Tonight Show legend with Johnny Carson. In the combination of the accidental target hit and Johnny Carson's lightning-fast improvised joke made it perfect because neither was planned and both were flawless. Number 5. Lee Marvin's one-word interview. Sometime in the early 70s, Don Rickles was guest hosting The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson when tough guy actor Lee Marvin showed up as a surprise guest. And what followed was perhaps the most awkward interview in The Tonight Show's history.
But Lee, by the way, good, if you get a minute, Lee.
They told me to come out here and talk to the stars, so...
Well, you know, that's right.
Lee Marvin, known for playing hardened characters in films, decided to give Don Rickles absolutely nothing to work with and answered every single question with one word. Yes, no, I will. Nothing more ever came out of Lee Marvin's mouth.
You're dressed in your funny clown suit. You don't have to do anything. You're my friend, though, Lee. We gotta chat. We gotta discuss how you got started. I remember you when you sit to Marlon Brando in that picture with the motorcycle.
Imagine Don Rickles, one of the greatest insult comedians of all time, trying to conduct an interview with someone who refuses to play along, and watch Rickles struggle through this barren conversation while getting more exasperated by the minute. Rickles could only laugh and admit that Lee Marvin had one-upped our whole comedy routine by saying so little, which turned the tables on a professional comedian through complete silence.
How do you account for that, Lee? Because I know you're fun at parties like you are now. You're really warming me up.
There's really not much sense in explaining it to you.
No, I guess not.
Marvin turned doing absolutely nothing into the joke itself on The Tonight Show, and that became a masterclass in comedic timing. Number 6, Ed McMahon's shark debate.
The shark continually swam. It never stopped swimming. The shark never stopped swimming. All its life.
What does that got to do with my
Well, I mean,
speech?
as you say, for the first 3 years, this is all its life. It never stopped swimming.
But this bird is in the air.
This shark is in the water. Be silly to see a shark flying around.
A genuine argument broke out on live television in 1981 between Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon, Carson's own announcer, and the topic was whether sharks can stop swimming at night. Ed McMahon got into it with Johnny Carson during a Tonight Show broadcast about shark behavior and blustered his way through the whole thing. McMahon asked, "What difference would it make to a shark?" And Johnny Carson snapped back with some joke about the sun, which turned the entire exchange awkward and tense.
Sharks do rest at night. So that doesn't mean that they're...
Why at night? What difference would it make to a shark?
What do you mean?
What's the difference between day or night to a shark?
The sun go down. The sun does go into the water. There are fish that only feed at night. So a shark, it can be dark.
What made it funny was the fact that this wasn't a planned bit at all on The Tonight Show. Carson and McMahon briefly forgot they were performing and started having a real disagreement on air, which Johnny Carson later joked about by saying the two of them had completely forgotten their roles as host and announcer. The discomfort made it absolutely hilarious because of how genuine it felt. Number 7, Mildred Holt, the 105-year-old scene stealer.
We read about my first guest tonight in a local Kansas newspaper, and she sounded like a more than remarkable woman. She's 105 years old. We thought you might like to meet her. Would you welcome, please, Mildred Holt.
Johnny Carson interviewed Mildred Holt on The Tonight Show in August 1987, a 105-year-old woman from Kansas, and most guests that age would have been treated with gentle, respectful questions on live television. Mildred Holt had other plans. Born on July 17, 1882, Mildred Holt arrived on The Tonight Show with an attitude and a thirst, then playfully sipped a highball out of a coffee mug right on camera.
They say a certain amount is good.
Gives you a little pep.
You betcha.
When Johnny Carson jokingly asked for a little water, Holt fired back with quips that had Carson and the entire Tonight Show audience in stitches while teasing Johnny Carson about his looks and going completely off script.
We're talking with, may I call you Mildred?
Yeah.
Mildred
sure,
Holt
I
from
like that.
Ellsworth, Kansas, 105 years old. And we asked Mildred if she would like a little drink or a little water or something, and you said you'd like a highball. Now that's Midwestern expression, for sure.
Holt's best line came when asked about drinking on television, and Mildred Holt delivered this perfect response. If my minister saw it, he probably would say, "Oh my goodness, ain't I? But I say anybody that's 105 can do what she wants to do." You cannot write that kind of spontaneous wit on The Tonight Show, and Mildred Holt wasn't trying to be funny, but was just being herself, completely uninhibited, utterly charming, and absolutely hilarious. Johnny Carson could barely keep up with Holt's sharp tongue and quick wit.
You don't drive a car, do you?
No, I had to quit 2 years ago, and that broke me.
The interview made Mildred Holt famous nationwide after her Tonight Show appearance, and the Kansas legislature later honored Holt as a wonderful lady who all Kansans can be proud of. Mildred Holt later passed in 1991 at age 108, but Holt's Tonight Show appearance with Johnny Carson remains a perfect example of how the best moments come from genuine personality rather than rehearsed material. Number 8. The ZZ Gabor incident.
You know, you were talking about Zsa Zsa Gabor earlier.
Yeah, I think everybody's talking about it.
My son said, you know, she was on Johnny Carson's show one time. She came there with a cat on her lap, and she said to you, "Do you want to pet my p-?" You said, "I'd love to if you'd remove that damn cat." Is it true?
No, I think I would recall that.
There's this ZZ Gabor cat story, where legend says Gabor held a pet feline during a Tonight Show appearance and asked Johnny Carson, "Would you like to pet my p-?" To which Carson retorted, "I'd love to, but you'll have to remove that darn cat first." This was popularized by comedians like Jane Fonda, joking about it in 1989, but Snopes confirms neither the setup nor Johnny Carson's response was ever broadcast on The Tonight Show. I feel that this proves something. Johnny Carson's real unscripted moments on The Tonight Show were so good that people invented fake ones just to match that energy. Number 9. Winnie Palmer's joke.
Do you have any phobias at all?
Phobias. We haven't prepared this. I do not like balls coming toward me.
I think that's called testophobia.
The Winnie Palmer story claims Arnold Palmer's wife appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and was asked how Winnie Palmer brought her husband luck, to which Palmer supposedly answered, "I kiss his balls," meaning Arnold Palmer's collection of special tournament pieces. Johnny Carson allegedly came back with the perfect line, "I bet that straightens out the old putter." Archives show Winnie Palmer never appeared on The Tonight Show, and a few fact-checkers label this as a myth about Johnny Carson, but I would like to hear your opinion as well on whether this incident happened for real or is actually a myth. Number 10. Don Rickles and Carol O'Connor. Don Rickles was guest hosting The Tonight Show with Carol O'Connor, and while making jokes, by mistake, he started slapping Johnny's cigarette box on the table, and he did not realize it first. But when he realized that it was Johnny Carson's cigarette box, the way he reacted was simply too funny.
Down, 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 down. Oh, this is Frank Johnny's box. I'm gonna put him in this.
He made reference to the previous incident where he had done the same. He then made a dark joke that when Carson passes away, he is going to put him inside the box. This dialogue was so hilarious that the audience started laughing uncontrollably. I honestly would like to rank this as the number 1 mistake, but there were so many other funny incidents that were even funnier than this. By the way, if you would like to watch a part 2 of any of the videos on our channel, make sure to subscribe and comment down below. These unplanned moments on The Tonight Show represent an era of television where spontaneity was valued over polish, where mistakes weren't edited out but embraced, and where Johnny Carson's real-time wit mattered more than production value. Johnny Carson hosted The Tonight Show for 30 years, from 1962 to 1992. And during that time, Carson created a template that every talk show since has tried to follow. In my opinion, what made Johnny Carson so special was Carson's ability to be better off script than most hosts are with a teleprompter. And when Ed Ames's tomahawk landed in an unfortunate spot, Johnny Carson didn't panic, but made a joke that's still quoted today. Johnny Carson didn't just host a show, but conducted a 30-year masterclass in turning the unexpected into the unforgettable on The Tonight Show. Then and nobody has matched Johnny Carson since. Subscribe for more such unique videos.